Hello and welcome to my channel. So we are basically discussing the medieval history of India. So we have already made the video on chapter 1. So let us talk about chapter 2, and uh, these information are based on the information provided by the Satish Chandra medieval history book, and I will try to incorporate other information that I get from other books also, right? So second book talks about what was happening in northern India during the early medieval period. So there was basically tripartite struggle going on for the rule over the Kannauj area. Kannauj was the place which was ruled by Harsh, and it was a very important place to put your stake on. Na? So, three strong dynasties emerged. First was Pratihara, Gurjar Pratiharas in the west, in the Gujarat, Rajasthan area. Then second was Rashtrakutas in the Deccan, and third was Palas in the Bengal region. All these three kingdoms used to lay claim on the Kannauj region, and they used to fight each other for this area only. Kannauj region. Kannauj is in Uttar Pradesh. So they used to fight for this area, and so let us talk about the few facts that are mentioned in the book. So book mentions that Palas were founded by Gopal, Pala dynasty, Gopal in 750 AD, and Gopal's son, who was a consequential leader, means he established the Palas for good, and he revived the Nalanda University. Nalanda University was founded by Kumar Gupta, who was the Gupta dynasty ruler. So Dharmapala revived Nalanda University. He also established Vikramshila University. So Pala's ruler were basically the follower of Buddhism, but they also felicitated other religious organizations also. But they spread Buddhism very much. So there was a question asked in mains also, UPSC Civil Services mains, that what were the contribution of Palas in spreading the Buddhism. So these were the Buddhist universities only, and they used to trade in idols also, and those idols were of gods and Buddhist idols, and they were traded in Southeast Asia and other regions. So Palas traded with Southeast Asian dynasties like Sailendra dynasty, which ruled over Malaya, Java and Sumatra region, and basically they also had a favorable trade surplus, means gold and bullions used to come in Palas dynasty. They were in a profitable trade, right? And this was it in the Pala in the second chapter. Now let us jump on the Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakutas were in Deccan, and Rashtrakuta dynasty was founded by Danti Durg in 752 to 756 AD, and what is mentioned in the book is that the few rulers who made a good work during the Rashtrakutas. So these were like Dhruv and Gopal III. They used to defeat the Pratihara rulers. So Dhruv and Gopal III's name is famous for this, and rulers like Indra and Krishna III, they destroyed Pratiharas. So there were there was a tripartite struggle going on, and they were arch rivals, and they used to claim on the Kannauj region. And Rashtrakuta rulers like Dhruv, Gopal III, Indra III, and Krishna III used to defeat Prathiharas. And Rashtrakuta rulers, who were the greatest of the Rashtrakuta rulers, so they were Govind III and Amogh Varsh. And the Rashtrakuta ruler Krishna I, he funded the rock cut Shiva temple, which is in Ellora. This temple is also called as the architectural wonder of India. This temple was basically carved from a single mountain rock, means it was a monolithic rock and it was carved into a temple. So please do search and read about this temple. It may be asked in your art and culture. So this temple was formed in 9th century by Krishna I, and Abhrans was a language which was growing importance at that time, and its poet Swayambhu was living in the Rashtrakuta ruler's court. So this thing you need to remember. Swayambhu, this is important. And if you talk about the administrative structure and the territorial structure of the Rashtrakutas, then the provinces was called as Rashtra, and the district were called as Vishya, and areas smaller than district used to call as Bhuktis, and village elders were called as Gram Mahajan or Gram Mahatara, right? And law and order in the town was maintained by Kostapal or Kotwal. So this was the structure of Rashtrakutas. And there was a hereditary revenue officer called as Nath Govindas and Des Gramakutas. So these names you need to remember, because these things may be asked in your examinations. So let us move on to the third dynasty, that is Gurjar Pratiharas or Pratiharas only. So Pratiharas were emerged from the region of Gujarat and southwest Rajasthan. So it was founded by Nag Bhatt I, and the greatest ruler of Pratihara was Bhoj, and he adopted the title of Adivara. So these things you need to remember, it may be asked in exam. And Iraqi traveler Al-Masudi visited the Pratihara kingdom in 1915 AD. So these things you need to remember. And a great Sanskrit poet and dramatist, Rajshekhar, this thing is very important. Rajshekhar lived in the Pratihara kingdom's Mahipal's court. So Mahipal was a Pratihara king, and in his court Rajshekhar, who was one of the greatest Sanskrit poet and dramatist, Rajshekhar, he lived in the Mahipal's court. So Rajshekhar is important, Mahipal name is important, so please make note of it and do remember it for examination. And Pala and Pratihara territories were very similar, so they are given in one place only. So they call the provinces as Bhukti, and they call the district as Mandala and Vishyas, and governors were called as Uparika. Thick. Then the head of the district was called as Vishyapati, and if there was smaller chieftains, then they were called as Samanta or Bhogapati. And if an area smaller than the district, which is called as Vishya, then that unit of land was called as Pattala. So all these things you need to remember. these are asked in examination. So this was it in the second chapter. So I hope that you are liking my video, and so I would like to request you to please do like and subscribe so that you do not miss my videos, and please share it with your friends so that I get the encouragement to continue making such videos. Thank you.